Yo, Commanders Nation. You don't want to miss what's about to go down with our offense. Yeah, you heard that right. There's buzz about a potential game-changing move in the trade market, and there's a key name at wide receiver that could shake things up big time. And if you thought that was all, guess again. A veteran's comeback at the most critical position on the team is right around the corner. The strategic moves coming from the front office have us all going wild. To top it all off, the coaching staff didn't hold back this week. One of our offensive leaders dropped some serious truth, and another team's defense just caught some heat. Oh man, here we go, fam. Davante Adams to the Washington Commanders? Are we really considering this? Let me tell y'all something. The rumor is out there, and while some folks are hyped, others are thinking, do we really need this right now? But before we jump to conclusions, let's break this down objectively. And at the end, I'm going to ask you, is this the move that takes Washington to the next level, or are we betting at the wrong time? Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the 5 pros and cons of the Commanders making a trade for Davante Adams. Look, there's no denying that Davante is a beast on the field. We saw it with the Packers, then with the Raiders, and the guy is still an elite wide receiver. But here's the thing. Would it be smart to bring him into this squad when really the offense is just starting to click with the chemistry we've already built? I'm telling y'all, sure, Adams gives Jaden Daniels another lethal weapon, but he could also mess with the dynamic we've been working hard to build. Now, word is that the Commanders are exploring the possibility, but guys, do we really want to mortgage our future for a 32-year-old receiver? This is where I ask, is this part of Adam Peters' long-term plan or just an emotional response to this hot start we've had? I think Peters has made it clear. We're building for the future, and a trade like this could derail that focus. But don't get me wrong, you can't ignore that Adams would give Daniels a monstrous WR duo with McLaurin. And that's where a lot of folks start getting excited. Is this a win-now move? Absolutely. But are we as a franchise in that position? That's the real question we need to dive into. So let me ask you, are you ready to risk those future draft picks for a guy like Adams? Because that's what the Raiders will demand. And it won't be cheap. Also, we've got to talk about whether Davante Adams is a need or just a luxury. No doubt adding him to our roster would be insane on paper, but the reality is we've got other holes to fill. Are we really going to pass up on shoring up other areas like the defensive line or secondary just to bring in a receiver who, while still one of the best, might not be what we're missing to take that leap? That's where I'm wondering, are we going after what we need or just what sounds good in the headlines? Now, hear me out. If the Commanders pull the trigger on this, it sends a clear message. We're ready to compete now. Are you ready for that kind of expectation? Because if Adams joins this squad, the expectations shoot through the roof and the pressure is on. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see this team at the top, gunning for the title. But are we that team right now? That's what we've got to talk about. Commanders fam, we're diving straight in today because what's happening cannot be ignored. Marcus Mariota is back in the mix. That's right, the QB, who we all remember as the number 2 pick in the 2015 draft, is being designated to return from the injured list. And here's where I ask, is this the piece we needed to turn things around? Now listen, I'll tell you this, Mariota's got an interesting story. He was the big promise in Tennessee, the guy many thought would take the Titans to the top. But we all know how that ended. He lost the starting job, bounced to the Raiders, then the Falcons, and most recently, the Eagles. Now he's here in Washington at a time when, honestly, we need answers. But here's where I get real. Is Mariota really the long-term solution for this team? Let me break it down for you. Sure, the guy's got talent, no denying that. But let's be honest, ever since leaving Tennessee, his career has been a roller coaster. And here's the big question we all need to ask ourselves. Are we betting on a QB who hasn't found stability since leaving the Titans? I'll tell you this. Bringing him back off IR raises more questions than answers. What's this say about our confidence in the other QBs? And what does this mean for the future of our offense? But hold up, it's not just about Mariota. We've also got F.A. Obata and linebacker Jordan McGee coming back from IR. Meanwhile, we're losing a key piece, Jamison Crowder. So let me ask you, how are we going to handle this situation? Are we really prepared to make up for Crowder's loss while betting on a QB who still hasn't proven to be the definitive solution? I think Mariota's return could be a positive move, sure, but let's not act like it's the miracle cure for our issues. We can't get caught up in the name or the past. We need to see him in action, and more importantly, we need to see how he fits into the system and the pace of this team. Because if he can't lead effectively, then we're just wasting valuable time. Listen up, Commanders Nation. What I'm about to tell you is no small thing. This is a test that could change the course of our season. So what's the deal with this Cleveland Browns defense? Don't let that 1-3 record fool you. I'm telling you, that defense is way more dangerous than it looks. Myles Garrett, folks, had 2 sacks last week, and he's coming for our guy, Jaden Daniels. Now, let me ask you, are we ready for this? Are we ready to face one of the toughest defenses in the league? I think we are, but that's the real challenge. Look, Zach Ertz said it loud and clear, and when someone like Ertz speaks, I listen. We've got one of the best defenses coming into our stadium this Sunday. That's what's in store for... Let's be real. The Browns have allowed the 11th fewest yards in the league. This isn't just a joke. These guys know how to close gaps, how to pressure QBs, and they'll make you pay for every mistake. But here's something crucial. If we can get through this, if Jaden Daniels can handle the pressure, and our offensive line holds firm, we'll be solidifying our position as real contenders in the NFC East. It's not just about winning, it's how we win. This game isn't just another matchup on the schedule, it's a statement. It's telling the rest of the league, we're here and we're not going anywhere. I know what you're thinking, but Steven, it's just one game. No, folks, this is so much more than that. It's the beginning of something big. So now I ask you, are we ready to prove it? Look, the Browns' defense is fierce. We all know that. But here's my question for you. Do you trust our QB Jaden Daniels to handle the pressure and dismantle that defense? I believe he can, but I want to hear what you think. Let's lay it all out on the table, Commanders Nation. After diving deep into the potential move for Davante Adams, I'm asking you, do you think we should go all in and bring him to our team? Is he the final ingredient we need to seriously compete this season? I want to hear your thoughts. Or do you think it's better to keep building with what we've got? Let me know in the comments. Now, with Mariota on the radar, the question couldn't be clearer. Should we really give him a shot as our QB? We're not just talking about this season. We're talking about the future of our team. So I ask you, is Mariota the missing piece or just another risky gamble? Drop your comments and let's discuss. And to wrap things up, do you think Jaden Daniels is ready to face the pressure from Myles Garrett and company? Is this the game where he proves he can be the future of the Commanders, or will it be too tough of a test? I want to see what you all think. So, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Join this community because this isn't just a channel, it's a family of passionate fans who live and breathe Washington Commanders football. I'm bringing you a video a day with the most important and exclusive news. Let's experience every moment of this season together. And remember, hail to the Redskins.